Hey guys, welcome back to the Gear.Locker. Today, I wanted to do an unboxing and kind of first impressions of a project that I have been working on for the last couple of years. One of the primary KSK push-to-talk systems that's very rare to find but has been used for over a decade is the Peltor Tk5 KSK push-to-talk, as well as the FL4DKSK for the emitter attachment. So now let's take a little bit closer of a view. When I purchased this piece, it was just by itself. Usually this comes as a set. However, this TK5 push-to-talk was on its own for a pretty decent price, so that's why I got it without the FL4. Naturally, I was hoping that one day I'd be able to find these. When I ultimately did find one of the FL4DKSKs, it was unfortunately not in the correct version. There's been a couple of different radio versions that the German Bundeswehr has used, one of which is the standard PRC-148, but another of which in recent years was the SEM52SL. It used an entirely different connector system, though the push-to-talk setup was generally the same kind of idea. So again, when I found mine, it was set up for the SEM52. In previous years, I had had some poor experience with custom comms people modifying equipment, especially rare German equipment like this. I won't name any names, but if you want to know the story, send me a message. So I was a little bit hesitant to send something this rare and expensive out to someone to go get fixed. But of course, once I read all of the positive reviews of JCI comms and got into contact with him, I knew he would be the one up for the challenge. And truthfully, he assured me it wouldn't really be a challenge at all. All he had to do to modify this was swap out this connector piece down here. With all the different wiring and all that, I would have no idea, but he masterfully was able to convert it from a SEM52SL connector to the standard Thales emitter 6-pin. To give you a brief rundown of how this whole system works, this is the piece that connects to your radio. Again, I had mine converted by JCI comms for the PRC-148. This travels up to this small Y connector, where one end would connect to your Peltor ComTac headset. The other of which has this 1-pin LEMO connector. And that's where the TK5 push-to-talk comes into play. This has the opposite end of the LEMO 1-pin connector and your aluminum with rubber button TK5 push-to-talk. In my opinion, it's a strange system, but honestly somewhat useful. Even though it's complex, you do have a variety of positions that you can place this. How often do you see one of these standard Peltor push-to-talks mounted to the side of someone's headset? Not often, but something this compact and this simple can easily go on the side of a headset to make it a lot easier for the operator to use. So what I'd like to do is give it a brief test on camera. I did test it off camera prior to this just to ensure everything was working, but just to show you guys kind of the functionality of it. First, you're gonna take your 6-pin connector and attach it to your radio. I'm using the TRI version here. You can do this in any other order, but I'm going to connect my headset and I'm going to connect my push-to-talk. I'm gonna put my headset on, or at least around my neck, the microphone ready, because I do want to show you that I am transmitting to this Baofeng that I have sitting next to me. So when I go to push this, not only am I transmitting, but I'm also picking it up on the Baofeng. And opposite, I'm receiving in my headset. Something else I did want to show you guys, which is a potential project from JCI comms that I'm way too excited about, is a reproduction version of the FL4 and the TK5. Now again, this is just a potential project. He's prototyping, working on different kind of materials and all that, but I am gonna show it off a little bit here because he did send me a prototype piece that would be part of this system. And that is this TK5 push-to-talk. This is a printed version, so while we don't have the aluminum metal ring, it is a functional piece that would connect to this system. It would allow a lot of KSK reenactors to be much more kosher with their kits. This kind of setup is extremely common with the KSK, as early as the 2000s up until yesterday. So with all that being said, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you a little bit of a look at what kinds of things you can use for your kits as well as where to potentially look if you're looking to modify certain comms equipment. JCI Comms was a pleasure to work with. He was extremely responsive, extremely helpful, did it for an excellent price, and I couldn't recommend him enough. If you guys have any sorts of comms modification or custom building needs, definitely reach out to him over Instagram or Facebook or whatever communications means he has, no pun intended. And of course, stay tuned for this little project. Hopefully we'll have some updates in the near future. As always, this is the Gear Locker, and we'll hear you in the next one.